If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Good morning and welcome to Keeneland Today, right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your proud host, Howard Kravitz, along with co-hosts of Bet and Booze and Mr. Patrick Hunzel. We are here to discuss the late pick 5 on opening day. Well, it was supposed to be Friday, but yeah, Mother Nature not exactly cooperating in Lexington. But we are finally racing at Keeneland Racecourse. Patrick, very excited. One of my favorite meets of the year. I know, even though you're a native New York and New Jersey guy, you've come to love the place that we call Keeneland Racecourse.
Yeah, for sure. It's up there with up there with Saratoga and all the prestigious meets. So this is definitely a fun day and gets you going a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. So we are here again to talk about the late pick 5 today, Sunday. Very quickly, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand side of the screen on YouTube and smash that thumbs up button, that like button. That will send, as Kyle Roscoe says, like-minded people to the HHH Racing Podcast and will trigger that YouTube algorithm, which I have no idea what that means. But hey, he always makes it sound good. Pat as well. We have a great tip sheet. Look below the video player for our weekly and monthly tip sheets. However, Patrick, just very quickly, I do want to mention we have power pick tip sheets only for Keeneland. If you're interested for Keeneland only, power pick tip sheets, it is not too late. If you can sign up as we speak right now. We'll just show you how to do that. If you go to our website, hhhracingpodcast.com, let me put that on the bottom of the screen. There it is, hhhracingpodcast.com. And you go to our front page here where it says Power Picks Tip Sheet. Click on that. We have the standard ones, which are our weekly and yearly tip sheets that come out on Saturdays only. But we have our specialty Power Pick. Click on Specialty Power Picks. There's Team HHH, which is not too late for that and does include Keeneland, by the way. But if you're only interested in the Keeneland meet, there it is. Keeneland Power Pick tip sheet. All the information is there. The first edition is already out this morning. It is for Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And you sign up either through PayPal or Venmo. Again, all the information, Patrick, is on our website. We already have many people signed up for the Keeneland only Power Picks tip sheet. Before we get into the late pick 5, Patrick, and as of right now, scratches are not out. Scratches usually come out in the middle of the show, Patrick. So we sort of wing it. It's real live podcasting here. If you are 100% positive about scratches as they come in, if you want to put them in the chat, that would be fantastic. We would appreciate that. Pat and I will be checking them periodically as we go along. Very quickly, Patrick, 2 big preps yesterday. Let me go to New York first, your home area. Rodriguez wires the field. Your thoughts about the wood?
Yeah, no, Rodriguez ran big and got over 100 buyer, I believe.
101.
So 101, yeah. No, Rodriguez ran fantastic, and I thought it was interesting listening to Mike Smith talk after the race. Explaining how Bob Baffert told him this is like the game-winning shot here. You need to hit a 3 because you win it, and we're in it. And they wire to wire. I really thought there was going to be a more contested pace. Thought Sandoval might maybe push the horse a little bit, but no, listen, at the end of the day, Rodriguez did what it had to do, and will be in the starting gate on the first week of May.
Well, he's not the only one that ran big. I'll tell you, speaking of horse that ran big, Grande ran big as well for Pletcher. Rapoli's got a horse again in the Derby, Patrick. Excited for that horse who was wide the whole way and hung around. Interesting prospect for the Derby. I don't know if he's a win candidate, but definitely interesting.
Yeah, definitely improving at the right time. I thought the horse was pretty much finished at the top of the stretch, having to be 3 wide most of the way and had to make an early move. But I am excited. Have a little bit of a wager on that horse. That's
what I hear.
That I put, before the race, obviously, in the latest pool. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm catching horse at the right time. I think I got 46-1 at the closed at. So,
well, he's going to be half that in the Derby, if not less than half that. So that's an excellent wager for you. Out west, I guess the major prep of the day, even though it was only a 5-horse field, the talent was serious. I'm going to talk about this Tuesday. We have a show Tuesday night. Myself and Pete are going to sort of recap the preps races. Of course, we have the big one Tuesday as well in the Bluegrass. But I've been beating this drum all along. And Patrick, we're all wrong. We're all right at points. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I've been spot on the last several months with not liking Citizen Bull or Barnes. Barnes did not qualify. Citizen Bull was awful. I don't like either one. I don't like Citizen Bull in the Derby. Journalism, though, wow, serious racehorse. He will be the prohibitive favorite. I'm guessing 2-1, 5-2 at the lowest. Although the Derby wagering is weird, but wow, is he good?
Very good. Yeah, no, that was ultra impressive. Ran into a lot of trouble. I thought in the far turn with Barnes alongside of him there, and had to wait and then cross paths and just opened up. That was really, really impressive. I found it interesting how Barnes stood by his side and prevented everything and tried to get Citizen Bowl home. But that was just ultra impressive.
Yeah, very good. Terry, we can talk to you about the opening music. We can talk to you about that. We got all the people here. Of course, Paul Conlon, who I'm sure actually he's not going to be there next weekend, I hear. But speaking of next weekend, literally the entire podcast, or almost the entire podcast plus extended family, is going to be at Keeneland next weekend. So you can Patrick will be signing autographs near the paddock and by that clock. So you can find us at Keeneland. Hopefully you're going to be there next weekend. Travis Diaz is here. Good morning. Usually work when we're live. Appreciate all your hard work and knowledge. Thank you, Travis. Really appreciate that, man. Anyway, we got to leave. Matt Miller is here. Rodney Evans is here. He talked about Grande was wide as hell. Very interesting win candidate on the sheets. So again, some figs are going to have him as a very strong possibility. All right. We got a lot of people here. Really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, we do not have scratches in right now. If scratches come in, we'll let you know. And obviously, they're going to be off the turf today. Patrick, they might be off the turf till later in the week next week. Like I'm thinking like Thursday, Friday. I mean, the rain they got is just scary and ridiculous. Fortunately, as far as I know, like there weren't any horrible, fatalities or tornadoes in the Lexington area, but there were throughout the country. And I hope everyone stays safe and recovers from this just horrendous weather they got in the sort of mid-south of the country. Let's go to race 6. This is the start of the pick 6. Again, we do not pick 5. We don't have scratches as of now. Hopefully we will get them very soon. Here we go. It starts in race 6, Patrick, the late pick 5 today, which ends up being opening day. You see our picks on the bottom of the screen. This is a mile of 16th, allowance optional, claiming 125,000. These purses are just ridiculous. The purse is 120. This is for restricted 3-year-old fillies, and this race is on the dirt scheduled, right? I believe so. We know this race will be, of course, running as is. Let me go ahead and make this screen a little bit bigger. You see our picks on the bottom of the screen. I'm going 10-9-1. Patrick's going 9-10-4. Patrick, let's go to you first. Whoops. And we're going to go to the 9 horse, which is, I believe, Justin Queso, creative name, 7-2, Wilkes and Pratt.
Yeah, I think, I looked 2 back, watched the race there in the forward gal, going 7 furlongs, ran into a ton of trouble and just didn't have it that day. And then, comes back in that, allowance race, optional claiming. And I thought ran pretty well and ran on with it after the wire. So I think, there's more here, and the distance should be just fine. Ian Wilkes is, known to have been pretty good at placing his horses in, especially at Keeneland. They've hit the board at a pretty decent clip looking back over the last 5 years. So I'm going to give this horse another chance and should be sitting a stalking trip from off the pace.
Yes, ran very well. Anna's Promise actually ran very well, the horse that she lost to. Anna's Promise finished second to 5Gs, I believe. Is that right, Patrick? So
yeah,
Justin Queso's coming out of a live race for 6 Column Stables. Pratt has a great chance to win the meet. Tyler's been the prohibitive favorite to win the meet. Of course, he's hurt right now, unfortunately. Mile 16th. Let's talk about configuration at Keeneland very briefly. Relatively short run to the first turn. First wire finish. Jockeys, pay attention. It is a first. They have a big red damn stop sign, Patrick, there. So hopefully they'll see it. Not a lot of time to close in the stretch. Usually you see a lot of runs on the turn, like aggressive runs on the far turn, because they have no choice, Patrick,
Yeah,
to do
no,
that.
that's definitely, yeah, that's a good point. And being there for the first time last year and seeing that first wire, it is interesting because personally, I didn't notice it until you showed me it. Really, like how big of a difference it is, and you do need to
Yeah.
pay attention to that. So that is a valid point to bring up.
It looks like the 9 Flavian should get that horse in good position though early. I'm gonna go with Chaston, who also has similar running style to Justin Queso. Chaston is 3-1. Cox and Sai has been working really well. I mentioned, speaking of work, so let me put this on the bottom of the screen. For those of you that subscribe to our Power Picks, our Team HHH and our Keeneland Power Picks tip sheet, I put this actually, I sent you an email, but at the bottom of the screen, for those of you that are watching, and if you're listening, I'll mention the website. This is a really good website, Patrick. A lot of people are not familiar with this. It's KentuckyBread.org, one word, KentuckyBread.org/workout dash videos. KentuckyBread.org /workout dash videos. It's free workouts. It's not a workout report, Patrick. They just have videos, but they have a lot of horses on there who have been training in Kentucky. And it's really good information, especially, of course, we got babies running now, going 4.5 and other things. So I recommend people check out that. I'm going to go with Chaston. I think this horse is going to improve from the January run. Broke her maiden, and then they automatically went into the silver bullet day against Simply Joking, who wired the field. Horses coming from behind had no chance, and she ran just fine, but that was a lot to ask, Patrick. Second time start. This is an easier spot. Yes, I'm slightly worried about the post 10 in this configuration, but I think Chaston has a very big shot. Just to mention, number 4, Patrick's got Liam in the Dust, who for Machado, who better know where the first line wire is by this point, will be on the lead most likely. That's always a good place to be at Keeneland. You want to be forward. And I'm throwing in the 1, Paris Lily, who also will be somewhat forward. And I think we'll like the slop. It's a big guess, but has been working very well against an inside post. And based on the last race, I think Paris Lily, Patrick, is starting to learn how to rate a little bit, which might be very helpful here. So I'm throwing in the 1. Again, when we go through these races, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be much quicker than we normally do. It's only about a 35-minute show. If you want much more detail, you can listen to our other shows earlier in the week, or, of course, buy our Keeneland Power Picks only tip sheet, which Noah Maher wrote this morning, which has full card ABC grids and full card info. Let's go on to the second leg. Now, again, I don't know, we're constantly looking and scrolling, and I'm pressing buttons here to try to see about scratches. I'm just checking. Let me refresh. Scratches are still not in yet at Keeneland. They better be running today. I'm sure they are, but it does say 105 minutes to post. Actually, the track conditions are now up on their website, Patrick. It says sloppy and off. Absolutely zero surprise on both of those aspects of the track. Anyway, race 7, second leg. Here we go. Main special weight, mile and 16th. Again, this is for fillies that are 3-year-olds. It's a field of 12 as of now. There is an AE in the number 13. This is also scheduled for dirt. The morning line favorite is the number 2, Salted, for Cassie and Ira. Let's see where we're going here. I'm going 8-10-5. Patrick's going 2-9-5. That just shows you how difficult a race this is. Patrick, you're going the morning line favorite, Salted. What do you like about Cassie and Irad? And I will say Cassie is coming off a fantastic meet at Gulfstream, now shifting his tack to Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm going to try and ride the hot barn here. I thought that the 2 Salted last out in that maiden special weight at Tampa. The horse just, it was kind of a oddly run race. Got to the lead at one point and then just ended up finding a way and couldn't get there. But I do think the 2 horses ahead, the 10 Cassiar, who's a Shug McGahee horse, who just ran actually in the, I believe it was the Oaks, the Gulfstream Park Oaks,
right.
ran pretty well at around 6-1. Who I did like that horse, and
yep.
The other horse in here for Bill Mott, She's a Gemma, I thought was is a pretty well meant horse who's been training well. So I do think Salted is pretty good and has faced some stiff competition. And Cassie has not been afraid to put this horse in tough spots. So I know I kind of copped out here with the favorite in a wide open race, but I do think this horse is pretty live in here.
Normally, I'd be concerned, Patrick, that the horse lost to a 12-1, but that was not your normal 12-1 like we talked about. The horse was immediately put in a stake. It was very well bred, pretty expensive horse. Speaking of expensive, $760 was the cost on Salted. I'm slightly concerned about distance. It's why I don't have this horse in the top 3. I will use her, Patrick, defensively. I just that she improved greatly. That's a great sign, right? That she improved massively to start her 3-year-old campaign, and she's bred to get the distance for sure. So maybe I'm making a big mistake here. You could absolutely be right, but the one's going also, right? So I think there's quite a bit of speed in this race, if I recall. Let me go ahead and bring up the time form here. They actually have the 1, 9, and 11 all quicker than the 2, if that's true. So that shows you how fast a pace it could be. We shall see. I'm going to go with the 8. This is another horse that's coming from Tampa. And I really like this horse, and I don't think I'm getting 8-1. High Note is one of my personal plays of the day. This horse costs $450. It's a Curlin out of a Giants Causeway mare. Zero concerns about distance. For those people that don't know, if people see Tampa, Patrick, and they're a little concerned, like why not Gulfstream or whatever, Chad debuts a lot of his dirt runners and turf runners, for that matter, in the winter at Tampa. He's not a huge fan of Gulfstream. He likes horses to go around 2 turns, and Tampa's a little more friendly to closers as well. I mean, it's not a closing track. The thing I want to point out here, Pat, and again, I don't know if you know where I'm going to go with this because you don't have the horse anywhere. On paper, this horse looks very meh. Lost, by 8 1/4. Was, by the way, 8-5 that day. It doesn't look anything special on paper, but I just want to show everyone the gallop out. You knew that was coming, some of you at home there. When I initially watched this race, I'm thinking to myself, and High Note's the 6. I'm thinking, Patrick, why am I picking this horse? Got a nice trip on the inside. Obviously, the horse wants to go long, right? First time starter going 2 turns. Doesn't do. I mean, look at it. Here's the 8 that I like today. This is not very good, right? It was 8-5, and you're like, Howard, why are you picking this horse? I mean, didn't show a lot, right? Just keep watching. And people can poo-poo gallop outs all they want, right? Lost pretty bad. Patrick, this horse was just getting started. I'm fully, here he is right here. Again, the jock is not asking, Patrick, not asking. And like rolling by the top 2. Now, again, people could say it doesn't matter. I'm here to tell you it does matter. I've handicapped enough races in my life. I've watched enough videos to know, Patrick, that matters. Does that mean she's winning today? Absolutely not. What it means is she wants distance, and there was more there. That's what it means. If she had pulled up, Patrick, and, after the wire and, wasn't even remotely close to that, I wouldn't pick this horse at all. And that's why we're getting 8-1. So I don't know what your thoughts on that, Patrick. Again, I know there's people in the chat or, people watching say, Howard, you're crazy. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. I don't know if it matters to you, Patrick, but if it doesn't, you certainly don't have to kiss my butt. Your thoughts on the very end of that race there?
No, I always listen to that, and I do think it's something you have to take into consideration, especially with horses that are this young and trying to develop a little bit more here. And I do think the 8 shown that, and that's why the 9 in the Stars, who I actually find a little interesting, kind of did the same thing last out at Gulfstream. I think should appreciate more distance, and I'm going to hope that I can kind of get this horse from off the pace, in the money, because I do think in the Stars, did start to improve a little bit more as the gallop out did happen.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't see this gallop out. I'm gonna be very happy when I see this gallop out. I might have to change my opinion on what you said. Did they show the gallop out, or you saw some other? I'm assuming they do.
I watched this, so they should show it.
Oh
Yeah.
my! Oh my!
So
wow,
little piggyback there.
Wow, I gotta be honest, I didn't see that. Okay, upgrade the 9. Hold on, just 1 second. Let me take a note. That's again. It matters to me. You got lightly raced horses here, Patrick, that are going to improve. And so into the Stars, that's the 9. Very interesting. I have the 10 in second, a first time starter for Mott. Starship Warp Speed. I'm sorry, you gotta show it.
Yeah, bought for what, $2,500, I think.
Try 2.5 million for
Yeah,
the number 10, Lady Scuderia. This is it's a tough ask to go first time out long. How about 2.5 million for Resolute? The damn Starship Warp Speed. How about the mother of She Shares the Devil? Sorry, I always screw this name up. She Dares the Devil. I always screw that name up. She Dares the Devil won the Kentucky Oaks. By the way, Matt Bernier had a very healthy future bet in the Oaks on She Dares the Devil and cashed very nicely. So congrats to my friend for She Dares the Devil. That happened. Let's see, where is that? That happened in the 2020. But anyway, this horse is meant to be very good. The works are good, and I think this horse could be special. We'll see. We both also have the 5 in the mix. Plaza Q. There's a lot of ways to go here, Patrick. I think it's a wide open race and a very tough one. Did you happen to look at scratches? There's a lot of people in the chat, so I don't know if we have scratches. It doesn't look like anyone has scratches up yet. We have Kyle Roscoe's in the chat. God, do I love it here. Keeneland, baby. Thanks. What's up, Kyle? Host of Bet and Boozin', who will be with us, of course, next week. Let's see here. I'm just looking. Oh boy. Peanut at the track. Gallop out means nothing. Well, we know what you mean, Peanut. He means nothing. Peanut, I have not seen Peanut at the track in the chat, though, Patrick. We love our new viewers and listeners. Look, that's fine. That's fine, Peanut. I got no problem with that. Can I call him or her Peanut? I suppose. I mean, look, we'll see. We'll see. If the 8 or 9 runs well, Peanut, I expect a full apology the next time we have a chat. Just kidding, of course. Okay. Let's see here. Chris Couples, my gallop out is why my wife married me. It matters. Patrick, you want to take that one?
No, I think we should just move on to the next race.
All right. Let's move on. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. Let's go on to the next race, which I believe is originally a turf race, right? Okay, so here we go. Again, we don't have scratches, Patrick. I'm going to stop saying that, but they should come in. They're usually in by now. Let me do a quick check right now to see if they're in yet. No, I still don't see them. Okay. That's unusual. Anyway, this is 5.5. It's the Palisades. It's a stake race, listed stake. It's scheduled for turf. It's not going to be on turf. It's on dirt for the 3-year-old boys and girls. There's actually some females in this race. $300,000. Field of 10. There is an AE. The number 11 morning line favorite, a soft one, is the outside horse, number 10, Warheart, for Rudy Brissett and Jose Ortiz. Here's our picks. I'm going 2-10-5. Wow. Patrick is going 6-1-3. How tough is this race? We've got 6 different horses, 1, 2, 3. Patrick, you're going to go with the 6 Turbulent Force for an underrated trainer, especially in Kentucky, George Weaver and Flavian.
Yeah, George Weaver's been doing very well of late, and has multiple horses pointed to big races in the next coming weeks. So I think this horse, ultra talented, did win first 2 races out, and one of which was on the synthetic. Obviously this horse does seem to be running fairly well on the turf. So this could be a scratch, but I do think, as you pointed out, Howard, to me earlier, a lot of these horses may actually just stay in the race. Turf sprints aren't ones that, seem to cause too many scratches if they do get turned to a different surface. But I think, this is going to be a pretty fast pace. And, Turbulent Force has, shown to be able to sit that stalking trip, and has one on the lead as well. So I think this horse is going to be right there with the front runners.
Yeah, again, we don't know about scratches, and I think it's important, Patrick, if these horses run on dirt, I would say a few things. First of all, take a look at the Tomlinson up here in the top right. I don't know if you can see it highlighted. Anything above 400 is really good. 398 is solid. It's not like crazy good. It's hard to say. A lot of turf horses can handle the slop. Some can't. Patrick, you would think that a trainer is not going to put a horse on the slop if they don't think that he or she can handle it. But horses can fool you. So I don't know. It's a very tricky situation there. We'll see what happens. I'm slightly concerned the horse doesn't want to go 5.5, but it's very hard to close on the Gulfstream Park turf for sure. So who knows? I think that's an interesting pick. I'm using a lot in here. I'm gonna go with the 2 out on bail, 7-2 morning line. There's a few things I like. First of all, I know that New York race last year was slow, but it wasn't the slop and it was on the dirt. So the number 2 has experience. This is the New York bred, really improved nicely when switched to the turf. I know the horse has not been out for a while here, Patrick, but what I do like is I think the horse has an ability to pass horses, number 1. Number 2, I'm expecting big improvement off the layoff here from 2 to 3 from Maker, and it's been working well on the dirt. So it's a bit of a guess. I want a horse that shows the ability to pass some. Also, as we're going 5.5 furlongs too, I'm going to take a little stab with the 2 out on bail. Not my strongest opinion. You're going to the rail horse, Long Neck Paula, who I'm sure is going to be in this race, who is solid inside speed, has experience on the dirt for second.
Yeah, this horse is ultra fast. I think she was interesting early on. Wins first time out, and then goes right into the Schuylerville, and was just didn't run really well that day at all. But has progressed pretty well, and last out, Turfway, that race was as the favorite, just wasn't very good. So they're going to try and get her on the turf here, but obviously that's not going to happen. But dirt numbers, I don't know about you, Howard. Is this horse going to go off as the favorite, you think, on the dirt?
I can't answer that question until I see the field.
Yeah,
But she's
that's
gonna
true.
take money. She ain't gonna be 10-1. She's gonna take money for sure. Uh, Wesley Board, we know how good he is, by the way, at Keeneland. He's always fantastic. He points to this meet exclusively,
Hmm.
even more than the fall meet because he's got a lot of babies running. So Long and Paul is not going to be 10-1. Favorite, I'm not so sure, but we'll take a lot of money. Warm Heart. Here we go, Pat. The zero buyer. Yes, the zero buyer
You
angle.
love
But
that.
the horse is 3-1 though. I like the fact this horse draws outside the number 10 Warheart, Patrick. Jose will break, look to his left, make some decisions. I also think this one can pass horses too, because they're all gonna be gunning the lead. It's just gonna be crazy, I'm sure. And this horse has shown the ability to pass. Again, a little bit off a layoff. Similar profile to the 2, probably a better horse than the 2, to be very honest. But the 10 hole has me slightly concerned because this horse could be caught wide while the 2 will not be caught wide, and the 2 is going to be a better price than the 10. That's why I decided to go that route. This is a very difficult race. Again, we will have to see what happens with the scratches. But if there are scratches, the 10 might become my top choice because the 10 will not be as wide, Patrick, in theory, in the race. Let's go ahead. Got a lot of buttons to press this morning, so I apologize. Let's go to the other stake race on the card, and it's scheduled for dirt. It's race 10. It's the Beaumont. It's a grade 2. 7 furlongs, or about 7 furlongs. Restricted 3-year-old fillies. It's a small field of 6. The morning line favorite is the number 1, Eclatant, for Cox and Godolphin. Strong second choice is GW's Girl, a Florida bred, for Greg Compton and Jose Ortiz. I'm going 5-1-3. Look at this.
Mhm.
Patch's going 5-3-1. We're both going to go with Stunner, another Florida bred. Cox has got 2 in here. He's got Eclatant. He's also got Stunner. And Stunner, Patrick, we figure will be on the lead and has a great chance to wire the field if she breaks.
Yeah, that was my angle here. I think if she can break here, this horse can go wire to wire. Has been working, looks to be pretty well. And I think Pratt's gonna, from being outside, can just get to the lead here and see how far she can take him. I'm not sure, how, the one here, 8-5 morning line. I'm not sure. This horse needs to get a little bit faster. I thought got the perfect setup last out. And so I'm hoping Stunner can wire them here. Howard, I know, Stunner has, kind of been a little bit inconsistent, especially at some pretty low odds, but I think should sit the perfect trip.
Well, let's quickly look at that race. They ran against each other last time at Gulfstream. I mean, look, that was a loaded field. The Queens MG, Unchained, Elaine, Costa, Amalfitana all came back and won. There's Justin Queso, by the way, also, who you mentioned you like
Ton of
in
trouble in that race.
leg one. Yeah, so let's just quickly watch the race. Eclatant was the 7, Stunner was the 11. I actually needed Eclatant this day. The 11 didn't get the lead. Now this is the major thing, right? There's no Rojo Rita in this race, so Stunner is not going to have to stalk. And look at these fractions: 22 and what was it? Very quick, I believe. They're going to flash it up.
44.
I mean, this is a tough spot for a horse that needs the lead, and this is sort of why I like Stunner, Patrick, because I thought Stunner ran huge without the lead, going 22 and 44. And here's Eclatant sitting a nice trip in behind. In theory, I think the trips could be reversed today.
Oh, for sure. I think the exact same way.
And Stunner was still, hung around here. I mean, she's not, Eclatant was a little bit goofy. It feels like this is not much of a difference, Patrick, at all, considering the trips. I think Stunner is clearly the horse to beat, and I would take as low as 9-5, 8-5.
Okay.
I mean, what odds are we getting post time with Stunner?
Yeah, I think we could get a flip in the odds boards here between Stunner and the 1. So,
I
agree. I think 9-5 is spot on. I would take the horse at those odds.
Yes, I would also. Let's go on to race 10. We thank everyone for watching. We have, Patrick, we got almost 400 people live watching right now throughout the world. Really appreciate it here on the HHH Racing Podcast. Let me mention before we get to the last race, we have live Keeneland Today shows, ladies and gentlemen, normally every Saturday and Sunday morning. Again, every Saturday, Sunday morning, 11 a.m. However, we have a special Keeneland Today show tomorrow, Monday. Noah Maher is hosting. Some of us have to work, Patrick. We can't do a Monday morning live show at 11. My bosses, I don't think, would be very happy, nor would my students, for that matter. And your bosses and customers wouldn't be happy. But again, we do have a live show tomorrow, Monday, regularly scheduled time, 11 a.m., to talk about the late pick 5, I believe, or it might be the early, I can't recall, on what was supposed to be opening day. And then Tuesday morning, we do not have a Keeneland Today show. However, we did have a Keeneland Today show for the early pick 5 on Tuesday yesterday. So go to our YouTube channel and look up yesterday's Keeneland Today show with myself and Paul. We went through the early pick 5 on the best card of the weekend, which is Tuesday. And then last Thursday night, we covered the late pick 5. We've got you covered like a glove here. So check out all of our shows. Go ahead, Pat.
We do have scratches out, and I think Chris Couples is rattling some of them off in the chat.
Okay. I'll tell you what, let's do this. I don't mean to interrupt you. Let's just quickly
go
go through race 10 with the scratches, and we'll backtrack to the first 4 of the sequence real quick. And Chris, thank you very much for that. Do you have scratches in race 10 first, Patrick?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Okay. What are the scratches, please?
2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 11, 13, 14.
Oh boy. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Did you
11.
say 11, 13, 14?
Yes.
Okay. So that's going to change our picks on this. Well, it's going to change a few things, but we'll just go ahead. I was 1, 13, 12. The 13 is now out. Patrick was 6, 12, 3. And because Patrick is a better handicapper than I am, all those horses are in. So he predicted, you're one up on me, Patrick. You predicted that correctly. It's a shame this is taken off the turf because this was like a grade 3. This race is absolutely loaded if it were a turf race. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of these horses come back. But Patrick, for this to be the closing race on a day, this is like Keeneland or Saratoga. Only the top tracks have races like this. It's a high-class allowance race. The purse is 150, and they're going to go a mile and an eighth. It's going to be on the dirt now. Let me see if Equibase switched it too. They usually no, okay. They don't. Sometimes they prop it up right away. But again, the scratches are. I'll just rattle them off. Balnikov, the 2. Another mystery, the 4. A credit, the 5 is out. Taking Candy, the 7 is out. Starting over, who's the 8, is out. 11, Swiftsure is out, and then the AEs are out. Signator and Miranda Right. Okay. So when we go through show the PPs, we'll make those adjustments as we close out the card here. With those, how many scratches do you have, Pat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 8 scratches. Okay. Now you might be, better predicting who's scratching, but I'm the better mathematician. 14 minus 8. This is only a 6-horse field, Patrick, in the last race, which makes it easier to handicap. But of course, you're not going to get the prices we want. Let me switch it here. Sorry. You're going to go to the 6 who is, well, let me just rattle through the field because we got to look at speed. So Warrior Johnny's in should be stalking, right? I would assume. The 3 deterministic is in the race. We had that debate earlier, Patrick. Will be a closer, you would think. Let's see who else is in. Strong Quality is going to show a ton of speed. It might be the favorite now at this point. Let's see, taking Candy out. Actually, Injunction is going to show a lot of speed also, Patrick. So there's some speed there. Money Supply is a closer, and the 12 is in. Laganos is a closer. So the main speeds are definitely going to be Injunction and Strong Quality, and you're going with Strong Quality.
Yeah, I do like this even more for Strong Quality. These scratches, selfishly. Like you said, the 9 should try and compete for the lead here, but Strong Quality's dirt numbers are pretty good. So I think Jose is going to get out of there and should hopefully get away and see if he can go wire to wire, because this horse finds the lead and doesn't like to let go of it.
Yes, for sure. I see another new name, Russ Nees, I believe. Thanks for watching the show, Russ. I haven't seen you in the chat. Again, I'm not getting to a lot of questions and comments in the chat. I apologize because of all the scratch situation and a lot of other things. But we love our people in the chat. It's very active. They're talking to each other. It's great. We try to bring up as many as possible. I like the one here who is going to sit a great trip in theory, Warrior Johnny, who is just very consistent and very good. Didn't run great in the mine shaft. I'm not really sure why. That's a small concern. Also 0 for 5 on the wet, but ran an 88 on the wet in the Lucas Classic. So, and should save ground. The fact that they're leaving Warrior Johnny in is a big plus for me. But I am slightly concerned about the wet dirt. Now that I'm thinking out loud as I'm talking, Patrick, I'd probably have Warrior Johnny. I'd probably have Strong Quality in the top 2, to be very honest now, with all these scratches. I will mention the number 12, Laganos, who has ran perfectly fine on the dirt. Is really more of a turf horse. But that last effort, now they just came in. Did you see that? They literally just came
look
in.
at that.
Yeah. The fact that Laganos won in the slop last time in a race that was scratched off the turf gives me some confidence, although it is a layoff, but it's Flavian. So I got some mixed feelings about Laganos. I'll tell you what, I'm going to switch my pick. I'm not going to switch them on the screen. I'm going to go 6-1-12. I'm going to switch to 6-1-12. I'm going to agree with Patrick. Although Injunction, Patrick, the number 9, is going to be breathing down the 6's neck and might certainly cause some problems there. Patrick, fantastic show. Great job, my friend. Again, very quickly, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, we do have Keeneland today, hosted by Noah Maher, to talk about one of the sequences tomorrow, which was originally the Friday card. If you're interested in the Tuesday early pick 5, watch our show from yesterday, Saturday, Keeneland today. Anyway, we've got everything covered like a glove. Final thoughts, Patrick, as we are ready for Keeneland Racecourse. What a meet it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, what a meet. Weather happens, that got to deal with Mother Nature, but this is going to be a fun late pick 5 sequence, and looking forward to sitting back and relaxing and watching today, and then working tomorrow and watching, and it's going to be a fun week. So I'm really excited, and I can't wait to get there in 5 days? Less than 5 days.
People watch horse racing from their workplace? No, who would never do that? Yes, we were going to be there starting at the Friday card, Patrick and I and a lot of other people. Actually, some of us are going to be there Thursday. Patrick and I have something called work to take care of, but we will be there the rest of the weekend. For my co-host, Patrick Kunzel, this has been your host, Howard Kravitz. Keeneland today for Sunday, April 6th, the new opening day. Crush your bets at Keeneland Racecourse. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
habits. If you have not followed his Triple H Horse Racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.